My fiancée asked for relationship pause to date X, said she'd return if it failed. I ensured she came back to emptiness. Be me, 28-year-old Nathan. Been lurking around here forever. Finally decided to share my story. Buckle up, Anons, this is going to be a wild ride. Until recently, thought I was marrying the love of my life. Her name was Isabel. We were together for 4 years. Thought we were rock solid. Now sitting here wondering how I missed all the signs. Met Isabel at a friend's Halloween party. She was different from other girls. Funny, confident, had this no BS attitude that I really liked. Never clicked with anyone like that before. Started dating right away. Moved in together after a year. Everything felt natural between us. Like we were in sync about everything. Future plans. Marriage. Starting a family someday. She worked as a graphic designer. I had a job in pharmaceutical sales. Our schedules matched perfectly. Life wasn't fancy, but it was good. Really good. We talked about marriage for a while. Finally popped the question last winter. Did it at home? Made her favorite Thai food. Lit some candles. Just us two. Isabel cried when I asked. Hugged me tight. Said yes right away. Started planning everything that night. Wanted a spring wedding. Small guest list. Found this perfect venue near the mountains. Everything seemed perfect. Everything was falling into place. Or that's what I thought back then. First red flags weren't obvious. They were tiny cracks in our perfect life. Kept shrugging them off at first. Didn't want to be that paranoid guy. Isabel's excitement about wedding planning started fading. This happened maybe 2 months after engagement. At first, she was super into it. Sending me Pinterest boards every day. Constantly scrolling through wedding dress websites. Always asking my opinion about stuff. Like if I preferred sunflowers or peonies for centerpieces. Then everything just stopped. Would ask her about wedding stuff. Like, hey, decided on your bridesmaids yet? She'd always brush it off. Not yet, still thinking about it. Same response every single time. Same thing with her dress. And the cake. And the music. Everything we were excited about before. She just wanted to delay. There's still time, she kept saying. Over and over again. Like a broken record. Wedding became an afterthought to her. Told myself it was just stress. Wedding planning can be overwhelming. Plus, she had lots of work projects. Kept telling myself she'd snap out of it. She'd get excited again. But deep down knew something was wrong. Her lack of enthusiasm wasn't about the wedding. It was about us. Then came the real wake-up call. Happened during game night with friends. Someone brought this stupid Instagram party game. Answer honestly, but no judging. You probably know the type. Everything was going fine at first, until someone asked the relationship question. If you could relive one relationship, which one would it be? Isabel answered without hesitation. Probably Marcus. Just like that. Marcus was her college ex. The one who cheated on her? Room got dead silent. Could hear a pin drop. She tried laughing it off. Said something like, not that I'd want to, just a big part of my past. Wanted to call her out right there. But we were with friends. Had to keep it cool. Later asked her about it at home. What was that Marcus comment about? She just shrugged it off. It was just a stupid game, Nathan. Don't take it so seriously. Smiled and changed the subject. Didn't push it further. Didn't want to start a fight over what might have been nothing. But that comment stuck with me, like a splinter in my brain. After that night, everything changed. Started noticing more stuff. She was always on her phone, smiling at messages, making excuses not to hang out. Got work to catch up on. Promised my sister I'd visit. Need to help mom with something. None of the excuses seemed suspicious alone, but they were adding up. Started feeling less important, less of a priority. Something was definitely wrong. Everything changed one Thursday night. Got home early from work. Was excited to spend evening with Isabel. Had plans to order Chinese and watch new Netflix show. Just wanted a chill night together. Walk in and something feels off. Isabel's sitting on the couch with her laptop. She's not working though, just staring at the screen. Completely zoned out. Hey, I'm home, I say. You're early, she says. Like that's somehow a problem. Try to ignore the weird vibe. Go to kitchen to start dinner prep. House is completely silent. Usually she'd be asking about my day, or telling me about hers. But now, nothing. Just dead silence. Finally can't take it anymore. Turn around and ask if everything's okay. She closes her laptop slowly. Actually, there's something I need to talk to you about. MFAW, my stomach drops to my feet. You know that feeling? When you know something bad's coming, but you can't stop it? That was me, standing there like an idiot, still holding cooking chopsticks. Walk over and sit across from her. All right, what's going on? She hesitates, like she's searching for perfect words, then just drops the bomb. I've been thinking about us and about Marcus. Almost laugh out loud. Marcus, are you serious? What about him? She bites her lip, avoids looking at me. I think I need some time to figure things out. Want to take a break? to see if there's still something there with him. Can't believe what I'm hearing. You want to take a break so you can date your ex? Are you out of your mind, Isabel? We're literally engaged. It's not like that, she says quickly. Like she can somehow make this sound better. I just need to know if I'm making the right choice with you. And if it doesn't work out, I promise I'll come back. That's when it hits me. The absolute audacity of this woman. She thinks I'll just wait around. While she figures out if I'm good enough, something inside me shifts. Don't blow up. Don't yell. Just sit there, staring at her. Wondering how I missed all these red flags. Can't even respond at first. My fiancée just told me she wants to take a break. To explore things with her ex Marcus. What do you even say to that? Finally managed to ask. So what exactly does this break mean to you? Voice comes out weirdly calm. Way calmer than I feel inside. She straightens up, like she rehearsed this part. I think we need some space to figure things out. I'll take time to see if what I'm feeling about Marcus is real. And you can take time to reflect on us too. Can't believe the nerve of this. Wait, I say, leaning forward. You're saying you need to date your ex, but I need to reflect on us? What kind of backwards logic is that? Isabel sighs like I'm being unreasonable. It's not about you doing something wrong, Nathan. This is about me figuring out what I need. Can tell she rehearsed all this. The way she talks, the way she avoids eye contact. She already decided this was happening. Now just needs me to accept it. You know this sounds insane, right? You don't just put your fiancé on hold while you go play what if with some guy. Who treated you like garbage? Her face hardens. First time I see how stubborn she can be. I'm not asking for permission, Nathan. I'm telling you what I need. That one hits different. Not just sad anymore. Now I'm angry. Start pacing around. Trying to calm down. So what, Isabel? You're just going to pack a bag and head over to Marcus's place? Is that your big plan? No, she snaps. It's not like that. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I need clarity before we move forward. I owe it to myself to know. You owe it to yourself? Laugh bitterly. And what about what you owe me? We're engaged, Isabel. We're supposed to be building a life together. And now you're telling me you need to test drive your ex to make sure I'm good enough? I never said you weren't good enough, she shoots back. Voice rising. But if we're going to spend our lives together, I have to be certain. And right now I'm not. That was it. Final straw. It wasn't just about Marcus anymore. She wasn't sure about me. After 4 years together, after all our plans, she still wasn't sure. Hit me all at once. She didn't even realize how hurtful this was. How ridiculous her request was. She thought this was reasonable. Like I'd just sit there while she worked through whatever nonsense was spinning in her head. Stop pacing and look at her. Really look at her. You know what? Sure. Say it in flat tone. Take your break. She blinks, caught off guard by how easily I agreed. Nathan, I'm not trying to hurt you. I just need space to figure things out. Nod, keeping my face neutral. All right, if that's what you need. She hesitates, like she expected me to argue, to fight for her. When I don't, she stands up, grabs her laptop, mumbles something about staying at her sister's. This isn't forever. We'll talk when I've had some time. Okay, I say simply. She glances at me, unsure how to respond, then disappears into bedroom. Can hear her moving around, throwing stuff in a bag. Stay on couch, calm on surface. But mind is already turning. If she wants her break so bad, fine, let her have it. Few minutes later, hear front door close. She's gone, probably thinking she left me here. To wait and wonder. Little does she know. I'm not going to just sit around. She can have her fantasy. But I have my own plans now. Don't know how long I sat there. Finally snap out of it. First thing I do is grab my phone. Call my best friend Oliver. Known Oliver since high school. He's the kind of guy who tells it straight. No sugarcoating. If I needed someone to tell me I wasn't crazy, he was the guy. Yo, what's up? He answers. Voice all casual. Isabel wants to take a break to date her ex. Just blurt it out. Long pause on the other end. What the actual fuck? She said that to your face? Yep. Rubbed my temple from growing headache. She packed a bag and left. Like it was no big deal. Said she needs clarity. Oliver lets out a low whistle. Dude, that's beyond messed up. You holding up? Not really. Have to admit it. I don't even know how to process this. 4 years, man. 4 fucking years. And she's still hung up on Marcus. Want me to come over? Oliver asks. We can get some pizza. Talk it out. Yeah, actually, that'd be great. About an hour later, Oliver shows up with 2 large pizzas. and a six-pack of craft beer. Doesn't even wait for me to explain everything. Just sits and listens. While I vent about everything, by the time I finish, he's shaking his head. Bro, she's not worth this. If she can't see what she has with you, that's on her. You're better off without someone who treats you like a backup plan. Nod, but doesn't make me feel better. It's not just about losing Isabel. It's about losing the future. The one I thought we were building together. Had pictured everything. Marriage. Kids. Growing old together. Now it's all gone. Just like that. Stay up late with Oliver. Watching random YouTube videos. Drinking beer. Talking about anything but Isabel. For the first time in hours. Start feeling less like world is ending. Don't have a plan yet. But one thing's crystal clear. Not going to let Isabel keep me on a leash. While she figures out what she wants, finally crash around 3 a.m. Oliver crashes on the couch. Next morning. Phone buzzes. Roll over half awake. Squint at screen. It's Isabel? Of course it is. Can we talk? Stare at message. Brain still foggy. She wants to talk. Seriously. After everything she laid out yesterday, now she wants to play concerned fiancé. Thought she might have realized how stupid she sounded. Drag myself to kitchen. Need coffee before dealing with this. Not just any coffee. Make that fancy Colombian stuff. The one I say for bad days. No way I'm handling this nonsense. Without premium caffeine. Lean against counter. Sipping coffee. Mind racing. She really has the nerve to come back and act like I'm the one who owes her patience. Not feeling anger anymore? Just disbelief. How can someone be so oblivious? So wrapped up in their own fantasy that they think this kind of stunt is okay, but won't let her see that. No. If she wants to play this game, I'll play along. Except I won't be the one losing. Finally pick up phone. Type out reply. Sure, come over later. Keep it short. Keep it simple. Let her think she's still in control. Little does she know. Few hours later she shows up, standing at the door like nothing happened. Looking all polished and perfect. Hair done just right. Makeup flawless. Can tell she spent hours getting ready. Trying to look calm and collected, she's clearly rehearsed this whole thing. Ready to sell me whatever story she's come up with. Step aside without saying a word. Let her in. She walks in like she still belongs here. Sits on the couch like it's any other day. Thanks for letting me come by, she says softly. Like she's doing me some kind of favor. Lean against the wall. What's up? She takes this deep breath, hands clasped together in her lap. Like this is some big performance. I've been thinking a lot, she begins. Here we go. And I think I've come up with a way for us to move forward. Keep nodding. Keep face neutral. All right, let's hear it. Well, she says, building up to something she thinks is genius. I think the best thing for us right now is to put the wedding plans on hold, just temporarily, while I take the time I need to get clarity on everything. That way we don't lose the progress we've made, and we can pick things back up once I'm sure about us. Stare at her, waiting for the twist. But she's not joking. She actually thinks this is reasonable. That's your big plan? I ask. Raise an eyebrow. Yes, she says, nodding like she just solved world peace. It's practical, Nathan. We've put so much time, effort, and money into this relationship. I don't want to throw it all away over something that might not even matter. In the long run, that phrase keeps bouncing in my head. Something that might not even matter. She's talking about us. Our relationship? Like it's some investment portfolio. She doesn't want to write off. Feel laugh bubbling up. Hold it back? Not yet. Let her keep going. You're okay with this, right? She tilts her head slightly. Actually confused why I haven't reacted yet. Sure, I say. Just shrug. Her eyes flick to mine. Doesn't quite believe I agreed so easily. Wait, you're really okay with it? Yeah, I say. Keep my tone even. If that's what you need, go for it. She blinks several times, clearly thrown off. Probably expected me to argue, to fight, maybe even beg her to stay. Instead, give her nothing. Just blank stare. I just don't want you to think. This means I don't care, she adds quickly, trying to fill the silence. I just need some space to figure out what I really want. It's not forever. Got it, I say. Just nod. For a moment, she just stares at me, trying to read my face, but I'm not giving her anything. Let her stew in her own awkwardness. She stands up, smooths her hands over her jeans. I'll stay at my sister's for a bit, she says. It's not forever. We'll talk once I've had some time. All right, I say. Keep voice neutral. She hesitates, like she wants to say something more, then just grabs her bag, heads for the door. Thanks for understanding, she says. Pauses before stepping out. Just nod again. Keep face completely blank. After she leaves, Stand there for a moment. Can't even see her as a wife anymore. She's gone, off to figure out her ex. And she actually thinks I'm sitting here waiting for her to figure out if I'm good enough to fit into her perfect little fantasy life. But she doesn't get it. This isn't her decision anymore. Walk over to window. Watch her car pull out of driveway. She's probably feeling relieved, thinking she bought herself some time to figure things out with Marcus. Let her think that. Truth is, already made my decision. Not going to argue, not going to fight, not going to beg, not for someone who thinks it's okay to keep me on backup while she explores her doubts. She can have her break. She can have Marcus. I'm done playing along. Funny thing is, don't even feel angry anymore. Feel free, like a switch flipped in my head. All this time worried about what she wanted, what she needed, how I could fix things. But now it's about me. Sat down on couch. Could already hear her voice in my head, weeks or maybe months from now, trying to spin her way back in. I made a mistake, Nathan. I needed clarity. But now I see what I really want. Too late. Life doesn't work like that. Had no intention of sitting here, pining for her to come back. This wasn't about playing games or getting even. It was about moving forward. She made her choice, and so had I. Spent the next week setting things in motion. This wasn't about revenge. It was about clearing out every trace of her, taking back control. Started with wedding plans, grabbed my laptop, canceled everything, the vintage mountain venue, the artsy photographer, the farm-to-table caterer, all had to go. Some deposits were non-refundable. But who cares? Wasn't about the money. It was about closing this chapter for good. As I clicked through emails, couldn't help but smirk. She probably thought I was sitting at home, heartbroken, crying, waiting for her to realize I'm better than her ex and come crawling back. She had no clue. Was wiping her out of my life, one email at a time. Then came the house thing. Funny how Isabel always acted, like it was our home. She picked all the paint colors, navy for the bedroom, sage for the kitchen, forest green for the living room, always nagging me about throw pillows. Even insisted on those expensive curtains, the ones with the geometric patterns. But here's what she never seemed to grasp. The house was mine. My name on the deed, my money in the mortgage. Called my buddy Oliver. He hooked me up with a real estate agent. Within days had all the paperwork ready to list the house. My plan was simple. Sell the house. Move on. Leave Isabel with absolutely nothing. To come back to, she wanted space to figure out her life. She could do that from scratch. One part was almost too satisfying. Isabel had left all her stuff behind. When she walked out, clothes, books, those stupid live laugh love signs, the ones she insisted on putting everywhere, her fancy scented candle collection, the vintage record player she never used, her grandmother's china set, everything. Boxed it all up, drove it to her sister's place. No heads up, no texts, just left it on the porch with a note. Here's your stuff. Good luck with Marcus. Was it petty? Maybe. Did I care? Not one bit. Then just sat there and waited. As expected, week later my phone buzzed. It's her. Can we talk? I think we need to clear the air. Laughed out loud. She must have realized. Her little fantasy with Marcus wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Couldn't resist seeing how this would play out. Sure, I replied. Come by tomorrow. Short. Simple. Let her think she's still in control. Next day she showed up. The look on her face was priceless. She stepped inside and froze, eyes darting around at the bare walls, the empty shelves, the moving boxes stacked in corner. What's going on here? She asked. Voice trembling. I'm selling the house, I say casually. Like I'm talking to a neighbor, lean against counter. Her jaw drops. You're what? Selling our house? It's not our house, Isabel. Let that sink in. It's mine, and I don't need this much space anymore. She stared at me like I'd slapped her. Why didn't you tell me? Why would I? You left, remember? Keep my tone calm. Her face goes pale. Wait, so you've been planning this? You're just moving on? Shrug my shoulders. What else was I supposed to do? Sit around and wait for you to come back? She shakes her head, voice rising with every word. Nathan, no. That's not what I meant. When I said I needed time, I didn't think I'd what? Cut her off. Take you seriously? You said you needed space. To figure out if you wanted me or Marcus. So I gave it to you. She takes a step closer, voice trembling now. But I didn't mean it like this. I thought you understood. I wasn't ending things. I just needed clarity. Laugh out loud. Can't help it. Clarity, Isabel? You didn't want clarity? You wanted a safety net? You thought you could run off. Test the waters with Marcus. then waltz back here. Like nothing happened. Sorry, but that's not how it works. Her composure completely crumbles. Nathan, please. I made a mistake. Marcus, he's not what I thought. He hasn't changed. I was stupid. I see that now. Please don't do this. Don't throw us away. Cross arms, meet her tear-filled eyes, with steady gaze. You're right about one thing, Isabel. You were stupid. But not just for running back to Marcus. You were stupid for thinking, I'd let you treat me like a backup plan. She grabs my arm, voice getting desperate. I wasn't. I swear. I panicked. I was scared. But I know now that it's you. It's always been you. Please, we can fix this. We can still get married. Yank my arm away, shake head slowly. No, we can't. You made your choice, Isabel. You chose doubt. You chose Marcus. And now I'm choosing me. Her face crumples. Starts sobbing right there. Nathan, please. I'll do anything to fix this. It's too late, I say firmly. You broke this. You don't get to come back and pretend it never happened. She stands there shaking, tears streaming down face, finally realizing there's nothing left to say, turns and walks outdoor. And with that, Isabel was out of my life, or so I thought. Sold the house quickly, above asking price. Market was hot. Moved into new apartment downtown. Started putting everything about her behind me. Wasn't bitter, just didn't have energy to keep dragging her baggage along. Thought I'd handled it cleanly, that we'd moved on separately. But Isabel, she wasn't done. And when she made her move, it wasn't head on. First sign something was off, came in a phone call from my mom. Barely said hello. Before she launched into it, Nathan, why am I hearing from Aunt Linda? That the wedding is canceled? Is this true? Freeze mid-step. Words catch me off guard. Only people who knew wedding was off were me and Isabel. Hadn't even told my family yet. Frankly, didn't want to deal with their reaction. But now news was out somehow. Where did Aunt Linda hear that? Ask cautiously, already suspecting the answer. From Isabel's sister. She's been telling everyone that you called off the wedding. Apparently Isabel is heartbroken. And you're being unreasonable? Nearly dropped the phone. Heartbroken. Unreasonable? The absolute audacity of her spinning this. Like I was the bad guy. She had been the one to walk away. The one who wanted to figure things out. With her cheating ex. And now she was painting me as the villain. Almost impressive level of manipulation. Mom, that's not what happened. Try to keep voice calm. Isabel and I aren't together anymore. She made her choice. And I moved on. Well, you need to do some damage control. Mom's tone sharp as glass. Half the family is talking about this. And they all think you blindsided her. Damage control. That's what it came to now. Not only had Isabel managed to worm her way into my family's conversations, but she'd turned the whole thing into a pity party for herself. Should have let it go. Should have chalked it up to her being petty, left it at that. But when I got call later that day from my boss, realized this wasn't just a family issue anymore. Hey, Nathan, I wanted to check in. Boss says cautiously. Is everything okay? I heard from someone at the country club. Apparently your ex is going through a tough time. And she mentioned your name. MFDU, my ex mentioned my name at work. She didn't give any details. But you know how these things spread. Just making sure it's not going to cause any distractions here? Clench my jaw. Pieces falling into place. Isabel hadn't just been telling her side. To family. She was dragging my name into her personal sob story. With anyone who would listen, thank my boss for letting me know. Hang up? Blood boiling. This wasn't about closure or fixing things anymore. She was deliberately trying to sabotage my life, painting herself as victim. To anyone who would give her 5 minutes of attention, that was the last straw. Stayed quiet up until now, thinking it was a mature thing to do. But if she wanted to play games, I wasn't going to sit back. Let her rewrite the narrative. Next day, send group message to both our families. Keep it short and to the point. Hi, everyone. I wanted to address something. Isabel and I are no longer engaged, and it was a mutual decision. After a lot of difficult conversation, I'd appreciate if we could all respect each other's privacy and move forward without assigning blame. Thank you. Wasn't dramatic, but enough to cut off her nonsense before it spread further, then blocked her on everything. Phone, social media, email, all of it. She didn't deserve access to my life anymore. Not after how she tried to twist things. Fallout wasn't easy. Mom wasn't thrilled about me handling it so bluntly. Couple of relatives still whispered about how I could throw away such a good thing, but I knew the truth. And that was enough. All what my ex-fiancée did was show me how little she respected me or the relationship we'd had. If anything, she made me even more grateful that I'd cut her out for good. So here I was, finally drawing the line. Blocking her was like flipping a switch, cutting power to the drama machine. She'd been running for weeks. Wasn't just about silencing her, was about reclaiming my peace. First thing I did was take control of the narrative. People love to fill in blanks. When you stay quiet, and I'd given Isabel way too much space to craft her story, so called up people whose opinions mattered. My close friends, my siblings, and my mom laid it all out. No embellishments, just facts. Look, told my mom over brunch. At her favorite French cafe, I didn't throw away a good thing. She bailed on me for her ex. Plain and simple. I tried to be civil, but she's out here spinning tales. Like she's the victim. I'm not letting her trash my name. Mom gave me her classic disapproving look. The one that could make grown man feel like scolded teenager. I get it, Nathan. But you could have been more tactful. Tactful, Mom? She's airing our dirty laundry. To anyone who will listen. I'm done playing nice. That seemed to click for her. She sighed, finally conceding. I just want you to be happy. Don't let her drag you down. From there made it my mission to shut down whispers wherever they popped up. If someone brought up Isabel, gave them short version. It didn't work out. And she's not the person I thought she was. End of story. Most people got the hint, dropped it, but few needed bit more directness, like my cousin Robert, who cornered me at family barbecue. Hey man, I heard you left Isabel high and dry. What's up with that? Stared at him, barely believing the audacity. You heard wrong, Robert. She ditched me to figure things out. With her ex? If you want the full story, ask her. I'm not playing the gossip game. He backed off pretty quick after that. While busy cleaning up social mess, also had to deal with work. My boss thankfully was understanding. Explained situation in private, emphasizing it wouldn't affect performance. He nodded and said, I figured there was more to it. Just keep your head down. And don't let it get to you. But Isabel wasn't done trying to stir pot. Week later got email from mutual friend Olivia. She wasn't taking sides, but felt need to share something. Hey Nathan, thought you should know. Isabel's been posting stuff online. Nothing outright nasty, but it's obvious she's talking about you. Just wanted to give you heads up. Thanked Olivia and checked it out. Sure enough, Isabel had been posting vague passive-aggressive quotes about betrayal and heartbreak, stuff like, some people will throw away diamonds to chase stones. Real subtle. At first was tempted to respond, to call her out for nonsense, but then stopped myself. Why stoop to her level? She wanted reaction, and I wasn't giving her one. Instead, reported her posts for harassment. Moved on. That was real turning point for me, realizing I didn't owe her, or anyone, an explanation anymore. My life wasn't public forum. For her to dissect and manipulate, if she wanted to live in past, that was her problem, not mine. One night sitting with Buddy Oliver, he said something that really stuck. Man, you dodged a bullet. Imagine if all this came out after you were married. You're better off. Trust me, he was right. As painful as it had been, breaking things off with Isabel before we tied knot was best thing that could have happened. Wasn't just about avoiding drama. Being with her had blinded me to what I really wanted in partner. Someone who had my back, not someone who'd turn on me. Second, things got tough. By time few months passed, Isabel's antics started fading into background. People moved on, and so did I. Family stopped bringing her up. Whispers at work died down. Her online posts eventually dried up. Like she finally realized she couldn't keep milking situation for sympathy anymore. Would like to say I forgave her, but honestly I didn't, and that's okay. Not every wrong has to be forgiven, to be left behind. Don't hate her, just don't care anymore. Real closure came when realized. Wasn't waiting for her to apologize, or for people to see my side. Was living my life for me, not for anyone else's validation. So guess all I want to say is, sometimes hardest decisions are ones that save you. Cutting ties with Isabel wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Taught me to trust my gut, to stand up for myself, and never settle for less than I deserve. Looking back now, don't regret a thing. In better place mentally, emotionally, and even physically. Life's too short to waste on people who don't value you. And if I've learned anything, it's this. Best revenge isn't getting even, it's living well. And with that, this chapter of my life is officially closed. Thanks for reading Anons.